Tonight, 24 hostages held in Gaza for 7 weeks are released. Relief for some families, an agonizing wait for others.
I wish she was coming off that bus too.
As Israel releases 39 Palestinian detainees. We break down whether this fragile peace can last.
I think the chances are real.
Allegations the Canadian military trained and distributed Allied weapons to suspected Iraqi war criminals.
We're seeing things from torture, executions. Essentially, they were bragging.
The retired soldier who says he sounded the alarm and was ignored. A CBC News exclusive. On Black Friday, a major Canadian toy store is in the red.
We are very disappointed. Mastermind is such a nice store.
The challenge for toy stores this holiday season.
This is The National with Ian Hannamansing.
After nearly 7 weeks of intense fighting, finally a day of peace. As the temporary truce took hold, a moment so many have been anxiously waiting for. 24 hostages held captive by Hamas were freed. This video released by Hamas shows the handoff, one after another. 13 Israelis and 11 foreign nationals put into the care of the Red Cross and beginning their journey home. And a celebration in the West Bank where, in return, 39 Palestinians who were held in Israeli prisons were also freed. All of this part of a 4-day ceasefire between two sides still at war. Margaret Evans is in Jerusalem for us tonight and begins our coverage with how the exchange unfolded.
These eerie pictures of Red Cross vans driving through darkened streets towards the Rafah crossing with Egypt signaled the long-awaited exchange had begun. Glimpses of the hostages caught in the flash of headlights as they exited Gaza, and earlier on video, filmed by Hamas as they were handed over. That was how relatives of Karen Munder learned she and her 9-year-old son Ohad were part of the release.
We feel like we're one big family with all the other families of the hostages. We're waiting for all of them to come back.
As the deadline approached, many in Tel Aviv gathered at what's now called Hostages Square. Hope and anxiety live here as one. Ortel Shimon Raz is a psychologist running a team offering help for Israelis struggling with the trauma of this time.
And I think many people also do not know how we're going to get out of this. We don't know if it's going to get worse or if we're going to build from it.
More nighttime scenes, these in the occupied territories. Crowds waiting to welcome 39 Palestinians released from Israeli jails, women and teenagers, the other side of the exchange. Israel's hardline national security minister ordered his forces to crack down on any celebrations. For many Palestinians, the detainees are political prisoners and resistance fighters against the Israeli occupation. And in the concrete maze of the Kalandia refugee camp, Ibrahim Awad is preparing the welcoming party for his daughter Nurhan, not yet released, but deemed eligible by Israel. We're not going to celebrate because of the circumstances, he says, because of the war, but there should be some rejoicing, some happiness at the return of this child. Nurhan was 16 when she was arrested after her connection to a stabbing attack in Jerusalem 8 years ago. Awad credits all Palestinian factions for the exchanges taking place, but says they'll strengthen Hamas the most. We have the right, just like Israel, to free our people, he says. In Gaza, the sound of drones overhead was replaced by the rumble of big trucks, 137 of them carrying humanitarian aid. People took advantage of the pause in fighting to venture out into a world no longer recognizable. Some trying to head back to homes in the north, despite warnings from Israel not to. If my home is destroyed, I'll pitch a tent over it, says Mohammed Abdul Bari, now living in a tent in the south. On my land, he says.
And Margaret, the next exchange is expected soon, but those names aren't public yet.
That's right, Ian. And in just a few hours' time here, they're going to try to repeat that process all over again. Hamas has reportedly already given the list of hostages to be released to Israeli security forces, and the families of the hostages have been informed. But like today, it's very unlikely that they'll be made public before those hostages get back onto Israeli soil. In Gaza, Palestinians are desperate to see this pause in the fighting continue. That is a possibility if, after we get through this 4-day peace truce process, Hamas continues to release groups of hostages in exchange for Palestinians being held in Israeli jails.
Margaret Evans reporting from Jerusalem for us tonight. Let's take a closer look now at the people involved in today's exchange, beginning with the 13 Israeli hostages. 4 are children, the youngest just 2 years old, the eldest 85. All finally returning home after 49 days in captivity. For the families of those freed, some degree of comfort, but many are still waiting, uncertain whether their loved ones will be next. Joanna Rimiliotis now with the mixed emotions being felt inside Israel.
Relief poured into the streets in an unscripted moment as a convoy carrying Israeli hostages passed. The official homecoming, though, was much more deliberately planned, down to the first embrace, and especially when it came to the children.
Yes, very specific directions, like not to mention parents at all, even if the parents are alive and well. They had bags for every child with his favorite toy, with other things, with candies.
Among the 4 children now free, 4-year-old Raz and 2-year-old Aviv Katz Asher, along with their mother Doron. Her husband Yoni shared his gratitude, while others returned to shattered lives. 77-year-old Hannah Katzir was released, but her husband was killed in the attack. Her son is still believed to be held captive.
I think it's going to make the recovery almost impossible when you have still family members being held by Hamas, especially if you experienced another traumatic event.
Then there's the trauma of families left waiting.
Not knowing, is she alive? Not knowing, is she dead? Not knowing if she received medical attention.
Maureen Leshem's cousin, Romy Gonen, was injured when she was taken. Watching the first hostages arrive in Israel was bittersweet.
I wish she was coming off that bus too. You can't help but want that desperately. I wanted them just to continue coming off the bus. You know, I didn't want it to end.
The hope is the Red Cross will get access to the remaining hostages. Believed to be among them, Sagi Dekel Chen.
Their children and their grandchildren.
For his father, it could at least offer proof that his son is still alive.
As long as this goes on, it's a living nightmare. It is an emotional struggle. It's excruciating. I look forward to the day they're all home and safe.
That is the hope, that this scene of hostages returning will keep playing out, while the first of them now try to reclaim their lives. Joanna Rimiliotis, CBC News, Toronto.
Alongside the Israelis, 11 foreign nationals were among those released. 10 are citizens of Thailand, many agricultural workers in southern Israel. The others from the Philippines. Their release was not a condition of the truce with Israel, but part of a separate agreement. In the occupied West Bank, Palestinians celebrated the release of those 39 detainees held in Israel's prisons. Thomas Dagla shows us who some of them are and what their freedom means.
It was a sight some Palestinians had only dreamed of. A bus full of women detained by Israel until now, pulling out of a West Bank prison. The relief on their faces visible through the windshield. Despite Israel banning celebrations for newly released Palestinians, crowds swelled in these streets near Ramallah, welcoming home 17-year-old Leif Othman, detained earlier this year accused of throwing an incendiary device. I can't express my feelings now, he said. Thank you to God. Under the Hamas hostage deal, Israel said Friday it released 39 Palestinian detainees. Among them, 15 are reported to be male teenagers and 24 women. Israel previously put out a list of 300 candidates to be freed, accused of offenses ranging from stone throwing to support for terrorism and attempted murder. Transport vans left Israeli-run prisons under tight security. Families of detainees anxiously waited for word about their loved ones. Sosan Bakir prayed for the return of her daughter, arrested 8 years ago for stabbing a border guard. And by nightfall, Mara made it home for an emotional reunion. The thing that affected me the most, she said, was not hearing anything about my parents and my family. 150 Palestinians are set to be freed by the busload in the coming days, with as many as 8,000 now held by Israel. Many of them teenagers, says this former UN Special Rapporteur.
They are charged and tried in military courts in the West Bank. They often are tried in a language they don't understand, Hebrew. The conviction rate is between 98 and 99%.
Some Israelis fear releasing Palestinians will only bolster support for Hamas in the West Bank. For now, though, the noisy celebrations will go on. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
U.S. President Joe Biden is touting his administration's work to negotiate this hostage deal, saying he's in personal contact with the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Israel to make sure it stays on track.
Today has been a product of a lot of hard work and weeks of personal engagement. From the moment Hamas kidnapped these people, I, along with my team, have worked around the clock to secure their release.
He also said he thinks the chances of this ceasefire being extended are, quote, real. So this pause is set to last for 4 days, but could it go longer? And could even more hostages than planned be released? We break that down with a panel of experts in about 15 minutes. Authorities in Dublin say a violent night of rioting was apparently fueled by misinformation and racism. The rampage appears to have been triggered by a series of stabbings. Chris Brown explains what happened next.
Many in Dublin woke up shaking their heads about the chain of violence that left large parts of the city broken and burned.
We've been out since 3 a.m. this morning, boarding up the windows. This here seems to be the worst hit. It's carnage, absolute carnage.
For a time Thursday night, the violence appeared unstoppable. 500 rioters torched or broke whatever they could. It took police hours to get crowds of masked vandals under control.
Last night, all we could hear was the explosions of the cars, the fireworks, everything. It was just scary.
Between the awful attack, which happened at 1:30 in the afternoon, and then the subsequent disorder, riot and looting in the city, in our city centre, it's just disgraceful scenes from start to finish.
It appeared to start with reports of a man stabbing school children, critically injuring a 5-year-old and wounding 2 other children and a woman.
It was horrendous, and the children screaming and the women screaming, and it was chaotic. It was absolutely chaotic.
Police say false information quickly spread through social media that the attacker might have been a foreigner, and that appeared to fuel the frenzy of destruction that followed. Ireland's Prime Minister placed the blame squarely on hooligans.
They did not do it out of any sense of patriotism, however warped. They did so because they're filled with hate.
For much of its history, Ireland has been a country people left from, not immigrated to. But that's changed, and this expert says far-right groups with anti-immigration agendas want to establish themselves.
It doesn't matter to them whether it's negative or positive. The point is that they're getting their key ideological ideas being discussed.
More than 30 rioters were arrested, and while the situation in parts of the city remains tense, Irish officials insist Dublin is safe. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Police have named the Western New York couple killed in that fiery crash that shut down the Rainbow Bridge border crossing on Wednesday. They say Kurt and Monica Villani, both 53, were in the car that hit a median and launched into the air, crashing and bursting into flames. They haven't said what triggered it all, only to say that the investigation continues. Now to a CBC News exclusive. A retired Canadian soldier is speaking out about a military program that he says trains suspected Iraqi war criminals. As Murray Brewster reports, it's raising new questions about whether Canada could be held accountable.
Graduation day for Iraqi security force recruits near Mosul, October 2018. Behind the smiles with Canadian instructors, there's a dark secret.
I literally get this phone shoved in my face saying like, yo, look at what we were doing. This guy was taking a selfie while a man was being hung from what appeared to be as the barrel of a tank, a barrel of something. And this dude is like, yeah, like check it out, we got them.
Retired Sergeant Mike McGuinness, seen here providing bomb disposal training, one of a number of Canadian trainers to witness the horrifying show and tell. Videos of alleged war crimes, apparently committed by the men they were training. Men upon whom graduating were given Western weapons and body armor.
We just spent a month making these people significantly more efficient at what they've already been doing, and what they've already been doing was committing war crimes.
McGuinness says troops were told not to look at the videos and carry on with training. It took 3 years for war crimes concerns to surface in Ottawa through media reports. Still, a military police investigation found no wrongdoing.
I am satisfied that the response in 2021 was appropriate and that the appropriate steps were then taken to make sure that Canada's responsibilities and the Canadian Armed Forces responsibilities were appropriately exercised.
Amnesty International Canada disagrees, describing the allegations as horrifying and calling for a thorough, prompt investigation into the handling of the soldiers' complaints. It's the distribution of weapons and the possibility of additional war crimes that experts say Canada should be worried about.
You know, the Minister of National Defence has a responsibility here, and if they don't take appropriate action, an inquiry by either a parliamentary committee or, if necessary, a public inquiry would be appropriate.
The Defense Department says the weapons given to trainees did not come from Canadian stockpiles, but would not say where they came from. It also acknowledges the Iraqi government was not notified about the war crimes concerns as required under international law for 3 years, notification that happened after the matter became public. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
Former track star Oscar Pistorius has been granted parole a decade after killing his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp. She was shot at their Pretoria home on Valentine's Day 2013. Pistorius, who was sentenced to 13 years in prison for the murder, is set to be released next January. CBC News has learned convicted sexual offender Edward English has again been arrested over allegations of sexual abuse dating back to the 1980s. The allegations center around a Catholic boys' private school in Vancouver. No charges have been filed yet. English had no comment. In the 90s, he served 8 years in prison for abusing boys at the Mount Cashel Orphanage in St. John's, Newfoundland. While many retailers rolled out Black Friday deals today, a national toy store chain filed for creditor protection.
It's just a hard time for small independent toy stores.
The uncertain future for Mastermind locations across the country. Next. Plus, from a viral video to a new musical theater production.
It doesn't get any more Filipino than this.
A community gets its moment on the stage. And later, how did the chicken cross the road on a Toronto subway?
Letting any animal walk around untethered on the TTC is a big cockadoodle don't.
We're back into.
The deepest discounts possible at high quality items is really what I'm looking for.
We're being more careful than we would in the past, that's for sure.
Black Friday shoppers hitting the stores early this morning, hoping discounts would take the sting out of holiday shopping. With high cost of living, many say they're watching their money more closely and not splurging as much as they once did. That could mean a tricky season ahead for retailers. This is a critical time of year for many of them, and as Nisha Patel explains, one big Canadian company, Mastermind Toys, says it's already in trouble.
On one of the biggest shopping days of the year, this was unexpected news.
We are very disappointed. Mastermind is such a nice store.
I'm surprised because they have some really good quality stuff in there.
It's sad to hear that a business is
experiencing some problems.
Canadian retailer Mastermind Toys has been granted creditor protection and plans to close some of its 66 stores. According to court documents, the company has been under financial strain for years. It says business was disrupted by the pandemic, and sales have been suffering amid stiff competition.
3/4 of consumers today say that when they're looking for any product, Amazon is the first stop.
And as consumers cope with the high cost of living, they're cutting spending, especially on non-essentials.
When you have that kind of competitive pressure and a potentially weak economy ahead of us with job insecurity and financial insecurity, it makes for a tough environment.
Sam Carr is up against many of the same challenges.
A lot of people are, looking for better deals, and it's just a hard time for small independent toy stores.
But she's doing her best to attract shoppers to her store this season.
I don't think people realize this, is that our prices are very competitive and sometimes even better than Amazon.
Mastermind put itself up for sale earlier this year, but after a potential deal fell apart, the company ran out of cash. Experts say creditor protection could buy it some time.
It doesn't mean necessarily that the company is going to go away. It means that they're trying to get out from a mountain of pressure that's currently on the business.
For now, Mastermind stores are still open, though anyone making a purchase will find that all sales are final. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
A new musical debuts inspired by a viral video of prisoners dancing more than a decade ago.
It's about seeing the humanity about people who are on the other side.
How the production is breaking down barriers in more ways than one. Plus, what does the dramatic release of hostages and detainees in the Middle East mean for the future of the war? Our panel breaks down what could come next. And a controversial new law in Saskatchewan.
We have the right to know what's going on with our children.
I would have rather died in school than I've gotten a phone call to my parents.
The fight over parental rights and why some say it's putting kids' safety at risk. The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. This is the world's largest iceberg captured by satellites. And for the first time in over 3 decades, it's on the move. The Antarctic iceberg is almost as big as PEI. Scientists say it broke off the ice shelf in 1986 and remained grounded on the seafloor until now. Filipino-Canadian artists are also creating waves with a new musical, Prison Dancer. It's inspired by a viral video of Filipino inmates dancing to Michael Jackson's Thriller back in 2007. And as Eli Glasner shows, their story goes beyond the music.
For no mere mortal can
remember this? It was 2007, the dawn of YouTube, and a group of dancing prisoners in the Philippines went viral. Now that moment in internet history is coming to Ottawa.
Maybe you were one of the 60 million people who shared our videos, watched us dance.
As a musical.
I thought it was a no-brainer. I thought other people were going to write a musical about this.
Co-creator Romeo Candido even flew to the prison, meeting with the real inmates who informed Prison Dancer's story.
It's about seeing the humanity about people who are on the other side of a line that has been drawn for you.
But Prison Dancer is also a major milestone for a community that doesn't see themselves on stage.
It doesn't get any more Filipino than this. The stereotype of Filipinos coming out of, our mom's womb singing and dancing. I mean, it's real.
And it's already having an impact.
Theater, for the most part, has always been what I call monochromatic. And even I, in my career, before ending up in Prison Dancer, I've often been the only one.
Already the buzz about Prison Dancer is spreading.
What's more interesting about the show was how the white seniors in Edmonton received the show.
Ooh, can't you hear the music?
They would be on their feet dancing and screaming and shaking and buying tickets to come back.
With all the talk, could Prison Dancer become the next come from away?
We're not here to be humble about the talent and the amazing creativity of the show. We want Broadway.
And a chance for more to see what the internet moment turned musical has become. Eli Glasper, CBC News, Toronto.
Now let's break down the news shaping our world. The push for parents' rights, what it means for schools and for kids. But first, it had to go like clockwork. Israeli hostages released. Palestinian detainees freed. But fingers are still on triggers. Both sides are watching. And even if this works all 4 days, the war is waiting to start again. So let's look at what happened today in a broader context. Janice Stein is the founding director of the Monk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy at the University of Toronto. And Dan O'Shea is a former U.S. Navy SEAL and a former coordinator for the hostage working group with the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. Welcome to both of you.
Pleasure to be here.
Dan, the first group of 24 hostages released by Hamas today, and 39 Palestinian detainees have been freed by Israel. What is notable to you about how this day unfolded?
Well, it didn't start off well. The ceasefire was broken upwards into 15 minutes after 7 a.m. local with I guess there was a missile strike, and then IDF responded. So it didn't start off well, and I was very nervous that it was a sign of things to come. But fortunately, the transfer went smoothly on both sides, and let's hope this continues over the next 3 days.
Janice, the U.S. President Joe Biden played a role in bringing this deal to life. What does this tell us about the role of the U.S. In this war and in what's happening right now?
You know, Ian, President Biden has been absolutely central to these negotiations. He did something unusual. He took these negotiations away from the hostage negotiators and put Bill Burns, the director of the CIA, in charge. I think that was because this negotiation is, of course, about the hostages, but not only about the hostages. It is a platform, a doorway to a ceasefire which the president hopes he can extend.
And Dan, I'm curious about your perspective on that, particularly the role of the CIA director in this.
Well, it just goes to the level of how incredible. I've been tracking this specific brand of hostage taking in the Islamic realm, going back to dealing with Al-Qaeda for 2 years in Iraq. This has taken hostage terrorism to an entirely different level. And that's why the stakes were so challenging, because this negotiation did not happen across the table from Israel and Hamas. They are sworn enemies. They both want to wipe each other off the face of the earth. And it's exactly why the hostages were taken in the first place, is to bring Israel to their knees. And that's essentially what the ceasefire is. And if this stops the momentum of the IDF, it will go completely counter to what Netanyahu and his cabinet want to do, which is obviously they're under the pressure of all this world pressure coming from the U.S., Canada, the UK, and 30-plus nations that have hostages being held in Gaza right now.
So, Dan, drawing on your experience over the years in hostage negotiations, how much more difficult was this because of the dynamic that you just mentioned?
Oh, there's never been anything like this, because the scale and scope of the hostages, the fact that you had children as young as 2 to 3 months, upwards of 85 years old that were taken, a lot of civilians, non-combatants were taken. There's never been anything to this level, and the fact that it had such an international flavor to it. So this is taken, again, hostage terrorism, which is again, I was in Iraq in 2004 when the Fallujah, we found a kidnapping manual being used by Al-Qaeda, and it was in a Hamas kidnapping manual that stated simply, no need to hunt lions when there are plenty of sheep to be had. So this is something straight out of the calculus and something Hamas is well familiar with, and they've just taken this to a next level.
Janice, Gaza has received additional humanitarian aid and fuel since this pause began. What kind of difference can 4 days of ceasefire make in terms of humanitarian aid?
Ian, it can certainly make a difference because the situation inside Gaza for the civilian population is so awful. So fuel is finally going in, not in the amounts that are necessary, but it is going to the hospitals, it is going to run generators, it is going to run desalinization plants. And what's interesting here is that fuel is now being carefully tracked, because the issue has been in the past that Hamas siphoned off that fuel. 200 trucks a day is the commitment under the agreement for 4 days. Now that is not enough, not anything like what's needed, but the real expectation is that this ceasefire, and that's what the president was talking about today, is going to be extended so that it is a 10-day pause, not a 4-day pause.
So let me ask both of you this, and I'll begin with you, Janice. Based on your experience, but also based on what you've seen here, what are you looking for over the next few days?
Well, I wasn't perturbed this morning when there was 15 minutes of fire, Dan, because most ceasefires have this kind of violation as they start. Often goes on for much longer. I am cautiously optimistic. This deal is structured so that after the 4 days, for every 10 Israeli hostages, 30 Palestinian prisoners, and most important, an extra day of ceasefire. It's Hamas that wants this ceasefire, so I am cautiously optimistic that this will last the 10 days.
It's funny, Janice, that you describe yourself as cautiously optimistic, because I've heard Dan in other interviews describe himself basically through his experience as a pessimist. So Dan, what are you looking for over the next few days?
Well, I share her optimism about what happened today, and yes, I hope it continues for 3 days, and it is in Hamas's best interest. This is what they wanted. This ceasefire gives them a chance to retrograde, retreat, resupply, and rearm themselves and fight to another day. But ultimately, I am going to see this every day. I'll take it as it comes, because until these hostages are in safe hands, so many things can go wrong, and I'm just going off personal experience in this realm from my tour in Iraq.
And Dan, I mean, I guess the thing is that for Hamas, it is the hostages, like that is the, I don't want to say, I was going to say the card they have to play, but we're talking about human beings here. But for Hamas, as long as they have hostages, they have bargaining power.
That's right.
Correct. Yeah, and that's their survivability, which is why they will hold on to some of these hostages for a considerable amount of time. Because the moment they give up all these hostages, what will stop the IDF from finishing them off?
Janice, we have 30 seconds left. Last word to you.
There's no doubt they're going to hold back on some of these hostages but again, there's grounds for optimism that a significant number will get out. And what the president's hoping, this ceasefire goes beyond the 10 days. That's the big question that we're looking at now.
I really appreciate the analysis and experience both of you bring to this topic. Janice Stein, founding director of the Munk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy at the University of Toronto, and Dan O'Shea, a former U.S. Navy SEAL, former coordinator for the Hostage Working Group with the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. Thanks to both of you.
You're welcome.
My pleasure.
Coming up, growing divisions around gender identity and parental consent.
If this is the conversation that my kid is going to have, it's important that they have it with me first.
Breaking down the new parents' rights law in Saskatchewan and why some are worried about its implications. Some parents want schools to keep them informed and in control when it comes to gender identity.
We have the right to know what's going on with our children.
I assent to this bill.
Saskatchewan is the first province to enshrine parents' rights in law, but there is fear about the fallout.
I think we're going to see, probably a lot of kids not coming out, but also looking at, self-harm and depression.
Similar conversations are happening across the country. Sam Sampson spoke to both critics and supporters about what the parents' rights law protects and what it may put in danger.
Make school safe! Make school safe!
Parents across Canada are keeping an eye on the fight behind Saskatchewan's new law, the Parents' Bill of Rights.
Yes.
Mr. McMorris.
Yes.
This fall, after an emergency session and the notwithstanding clause, Saskatchewan's Parents' Bill of Rights became law.
I assent to this bill.
Canada's first provincial education law that could limit gender identity in schools.
This bill, at its very core, is about providing parents the right, not the opportunity, to support their child.
The most controversial part is that school staff now have to get parental permission before using a different name or gender identity for students under 16, like changing pronouns. Instantly, critics shared anger and fear the law could hurt trans kids, so a divided province emerged.
I would have rather died in school than have gotten a phone call to my parents.
We have the right to know what's going on with our children.
The province says its parental bill of rights is based off of what parents want. So we're here in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, to hear what some of them have to say. And Dustin, what about you? How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. One of the biggest things becomes having the control over what my kids, what they're hearing, what they're learning, what they're being taught.
I would like to see this be a law across the country.
Murray Fraze and Dustin Matthews like the new law. They say parenting has changed and they need extra help.
They have everything right at their fingertips to be able to explore, quite honestly, some pretty scary subjects if there's issues that are happening behind your back and going on without our knowing. That it adds a huge variable of security to know that legally now we have to be informed as parents.
With preteens and teens of their own, these lifelong friends say the law protects what they know as the family unit.
It seems that a lot of these ideas, these ideologies, these whatever you want to call them, it's forced its way in as you have to accept this. And I think that's kind of where the panic button comes in. If this is the conversation that my kid is going to have, it's important that they have it with me first.
And what are you talking about specifically when you say ideologies?
I guess I speak of that in general terms, and it applies to far more things than gender identity. I mean, even the fact of changing names. I'm sorry, but he doesn't have that authority to do that.
But some say a child would have that authority and that this law violates their charter rights. As individuals, parents and kids all have fundamental freedoms like the freedom of thought, the right to equality, and the right to liberty and security of the person. And one person's rights are not more important than another's.
When I think parental rights, I think of the big 3. I think healthcare, education, cultural, and religion.
Family lawyer Kathleen Peterson says the idea of parental rights comes up in her work, but she's unsure how this law will play out in court.
So parents have that circle of rights in relation to their children to the limits of where the law says, no, you can't do that.
So in court, the judge sides with what's best for the child, not the parent.
What concerns you about, the lack of specificity when we talk about parental rights?
I think that people are using, some people, not everybody, but I think that people are using rights as a cudgel. It's a club to beat the other side with. It's not about what the parents believe or what the parents are comfortable with. What is in the child's best interest?
The idea of parental rights has gotten a lot of attention lately. In the US, hundreds of parents' rights bills have been introduced just this year, most targeting gender and sex education. The Canadian movement culminated in September's 1 Million March for Children, a national push to cut sex and gender curriculum and gender-free washrooms in schools.
The government is not our dad and mom because we have the say on our kids, not you. So we respect gays, we respect lesbians, we respect all the people, but they have to respect our rights too.
But Evan Balgord with the Canadian Anti-Hate Network says there are kids who can't go to their parents.
Just families that maybe aren't supportive of their being gay or trans makes us very concerned because those situations have a great potential for abuse.
He says for decades, parental rights has been a buzzword to spread homophobic and anti-trans rhetoric, all sowing distrust in the education system.
You'll often see arguments about parental rights appearing alongside, not always, but very, very frequently, arguments against trans people existing in general.
In this space, Regina's queer community choir can just be. It's a place Lene Hicks often brings her non-binary 16-year-old.
I don't want to be that person that puts up barriers. I want to be the parent that provides opportunity.
She wants young queer kids to know others can offer that support.
If they need a listening ear or someone to understand without judgment, that's not going to go tell their parents, then I'm that person.
Regina teacher Brenton Dickey started this choir.
I get to work with kids on being open and accepting.
He says this law puts his and his colleagues' jobs at risk if they don't follow protocol.
In schools, it kind of stresses me out because I'm thinking well, how long until they start telling queer teachers that they can't be teaching in the schools if we're going down this road? If a kid came up to me and was coming out, I'd probably have to be hey, have you told your parents? And then, which is the same conversation as usual, but then it shifts to okay, now I have to go and tell my admin, and then they have to phone your parents and talk about it, which is scary for the kids. And I think we're going to see probably a lot of kids not coming out, but also looking at self-harm and depression.
There is nobody in this world that loves my child more than I, or my wife and I.
It seems everyone just wants to be a good parent. It's just unclear if this new law will help that happen.
Sam, the Saskatchewan law is already facing some legal pushback.
That's right. There are a lot of people who hope that a court challenge against the law finds it unconstitutional. Now, that's expected to continue in January. But the outcome of that challenge might be moot because Saskatchewan used the notwithstanding clause to pass the law, which would shield it from getting struck down on the basis of any charter right. But leaders in other provinces, Alberta specifically, are mulling their own policies. So they're watching what happens. So this is far from settled.
Sam Sampson in Regina tonight. Coming up, the Toronto subway had a unique rider this week.
We've had some unusual animal sightings on the TTC in the past.
The chicken hitching a ride in our moment. Yep, that is a picture of a chicken behind the seats of a Toronto subway car. The chicken caught on camera riding the subway this week. As you might guess, there have been many creatures great and small on the TTC, but tonight, this chicken's subway adventure makes our moment.
Letting any animal walk around untethered on the TTC is a big cockadoodle don't. So we became aware of a social media post a couple of days ago that showed a chicken, we don't know if it's a hen or a rooster, walking around on a subway car. It appears that it was brought on by people who had it in a carrier at some point, which is frankly where it should have stayed. It appeared to be quite well behaved, which is great. It is a first for us, though, I will say. We've had some unusual animal sightings on the TTC in the past. Somebody once upon a time had 3 live crabs, put them on seats. Someone had a giant snake wrapped around them. We did have a case a few years ago where a beaver wandered up from a river creek bed near our High Park station. All joking aside, I mean, we do see animals on the TTC in all shapes and forms, and they're welcome. We just ask that they be leashed, or if they're a smaller type of animal, that they be in carriers.
I assume there's no scenario, and I may get in trouble for even saying this out loud, where the chicken would be on a leash. I mean, maybe that's a city thing. Like growing up, my parents raised chickens, and I can say with confidence, having any of them on leash was just never really an option. But anyway, you heard what the rules are on the TTC. Do not leave your chicken just kind of, hanging around. That is the National for November 24th. Join me Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio and CBC News Network, and later that night right here for the National. Have a great Saturday.